Hey everyone, today we have some huge updates in Wrath Classic having to do with items that drop in Ulduar, including nerfs and buffs. The first item that was changed was the Sigil of the Vengeful Heart. Now this is the Unholy Death Knight best in slot sigil, which drops off XT-002 Deconstructor in 25-man Ulduar. Now this item was actually nerfed, which is huge. The item previously increased the damage done by Death Coil by 437 and Frost Strike by 136, but now only increases the damage done by Death Coil by 403 and Frost Strike by 120. This is a reduction by 34 and 16 respectively to each of those two abilities, or an 8.4% decrease to Death Coil and a 13.3% decrease to Frost Strike. It's a pretty decent nerf because Morbidity Death Knights get a lot of their damage from Death Coil, and if you looked at the recent rankings for DPS for Ulduar, Unholy Death Knights are still the third best DPS, depending on which measure, might be third or fourth. But Death Knights are up there. So it seems that Blizzard's attacks on the Unholy Death Knight continue even after nerfing the gargoyle haste snapshotting. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more WoW content. Alright, however, Sigil of the Vengeful Heart was not the only item that was changed. Elgalon trinkets, which drop in both 10 and 25 man, have also been changed and it's already live. Comet's Trail, which drops off Elgalon the Observer in 25 man Ulduar, had its proc increased from 768 haste rating to 819 haste rating. This is a 6.6% increase in haste rating, or an absolute increase of 51, and will help 7 different specializations which the trinket is best in slot for. Classes like Death Knight, Hunter, Shaman, Druid, Warrior, and Paladin. I can see the increased haste proc being somewhat helpful for Unholy Death Knights, even though it can't be snapshotted, for their gargoyle, but I think this is a nice buff for sure for a variety of different classes and specializations. Another item that was buffed was Dark Matter. This item drops off Elgalon the Observer in 10-man Ulduar, and its proc was increased from 647 crit rating to 692 crit rating. This is an increase of 45 crit rating and a 7% increase overall, which I would say is a pretty nice increase. I would say that overall changing the procs on these trinkets are a bit of an insignificant change, whereas if you compare it to something like changing the Vigil of the Vengeful Heart, which we talked about first, is always affecting your character, so I think it's really much more impactful, really, this nerf that they've made to the Sigil, rather than some of these proc effects, which of course only happen periodically. Now, another item that was changed was the Meteorite Crystal. Now this is actually not a proc trinket, this is actually a on-use item, which drops off Elgalon the Observer in 10-man, and it has been buffed, increasing the stacking MP5 buff from 60 MP5 to 68 MP5, which of course is 8 more MP5, which is a 13.33% repeating, of course, increase in MP5, which is actually pretty nice, considering it's a stacking buff that is an on-use effect, making this change more impactful, in my opinion, than the other proc buffs, because you can basically use this whenever you'd like, whenever you need that mana, whenever it's most needed. Now these changes are already live, and guys, if you like this video, you might like this video right above my head. I'll see you there.